Dr. Miller here with Integrated Health of Indiana. Let's take a moment to talk about water and its importance. First, let's address water. It needs to be just water, clean water. Have you ever had your water tested? I have. And in Jennings County, when I tested my water, I had a lot of contaminants in it. And if you live in rural areas with agriculture around you, the municipal water companies do not have the ability to filter out all the fertilizers and all the organophosphates, not to mention the forever chemicals that we are now seeing in the water supply. The solution is very simple. Drink reverse osmosis water. Below is a link to the reverse osmosis machine that we use, both at the clinic and in our home. And because reverse osmosis water can cause an issue with leaching of the bones, meaning since the minerals are gone and it's just water, it becomes a solvent. So you can add a pinch of sea salt. If you have some flavoring or you want some flavoring, use something like LMNT that has nothing but stevia in the salt with real fruit flavorings. Because once you start to get into artificial flavors and flavorings, you start to make the liver and those things work harder. I'll put a link to some recipes to some spa water in there, and then that way you can have that and you can start to make your own water, fuse it. Then it goes from being reverse osmosis water that is just water to now having the micronutrients and the minerals and the vitamins that you need. Now let's take a moment and talk about pollution. Almost too scary to talk about because it's very overwhelming, but let's talk about it anyway. In Jennings County, we'll use it as our example, and we have 7 contaminants in our water currently that exceeds the healthy guidelines. Remember, the federal government standards are often below what the test research and research shows is actually safe. And so, as there are many contaminants in our water, and the guidelines haven't been updated for nearly 20 years, you've really got to get those things out. If the guidelines haven't been updated for 20 years, what do you think they're missing in the form of contaminants? And so in Jennings County water, we have bromodichloromethane, and it is 12 times the healthy limits. The potential effect is cancer, and it delays childhood development, and it's harmful to fetal development. Next, we have chloroforms, which are 3 times the healthy guidelines, and its potential effect is also cancer, and it's harmful to fetal development. Dibromochloromethane is 10 times the healthy guidelines, and its potential effect is cancer. It's harmful to fetal development, among other things. Haloacetic acids are 76 times. Let me repeat that, 76 times the healthy limit. And this causes cancer and birth defects. Nitrates are 11 times the healthy limit with the potential effect of also being cancer. And lastly, trihalomethanes are 81 times the healthy limit. And the possible effects are bladder cancer, skin cancer, and it is harmful to fetal growth. So start to take that thought in your head, and we have several things that are multiple times the limit that all cause cancer. We just don't need to make the body work that hard. So unfortunately, bottled water isn't the answer either. They just filter it to get the large contaminants out. It doesn't get the organophosphates and the small contaminants like what I was just talking about out. And not only that, but it's plastic. And so if you leave it in your car, if it got hot while shipping, the plastics break down and infuse into the water. So reverse osmosis is really the best that we currently have. Water is so important. All your joints in your body depend on water to rehydrate at night. You can't mobilize fat out of the body without surplus water to move it. So if you're weight resistant and you're not drinking pure clean water, let's say you're drinking Monsters or you're drinking Gatorade or what, that's not water, and it causes issues. Your cells depend on water to live. And we take a measurement in the clinic of cell health called the phase angle. It can help us see the health of the cell, and it's kind of a proxy to toxicity, because the more water we see outside the cell rather than inside the cell, then we know that there is toxicity. And there's a saying in health and functional medicine that the solution to pollution is dilution. So your water needs to be cleaned so it can carry this out of the body. You can go to the ewg.org and then go to the water section of it, and it'll start to point you to the direction of what your water actually has in it. Let's just say this: we want to have you drinking good, clean water. Thank you, and stay tuned tomorrow for the next in our series of Health Talks.